It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Hey, today I wanted to bring Wes McArtor back on the end of the day with Ray because he's got a great special announcement to make. I'm going to let him make it in a minute, but I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with that beautiful young lady to my left. But before we get started, folks, about 2 years ago, NextEra, under Wes McArtor and Greg Bosey's leadership, went out and bought an administrative type company, and they integrated administrative services into their deliverable to help dealers not only in the service aspect of the deliverable, but also in the administration part. And today, he's adding to that with a really, really special capability. And Wes McArtor, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm fantastic, Ray. Thanks for having us on.
Well, Wes, I was really excited when I heard the news, so I want you to go ahead and introduce Patty Edwards, and then we want to talk a little bit with Patty.
I appreciate the opportunity to introduce Patty. When we acquired this administrative company, we were trying to kind of allow us to be more of a broader service to our customers. So there were areas that we saw that impacted service that were administratively based, so we wanted to be able to address those. And as we did more and more of this type of work, we realized that many of these dealerships were really not focused on the HR component of what they were doing. So they were smaller organizations, they were just kind of winging it and hoping that nothing really bad happened. But as we enter this post-COVID world, it's going to become more and more critical that these organizations, even the smaller ones, pay attention to their obligations to their employees as it relates to HR. And when I was introduced to Patty, I realized immediately that this was exactly who we needed on the team to lead that effort, because her education and background and skill set speaks to exactly what these dealers need, which is focus on HR, do the right thing for your employees, and make sure that you're in compliance with all of the changes in laws and regulations that states are applying as it relates to employee rights. So it's really important these dealers take advantage of that. So I'm thrilled to invite Patty Edwards onto the team of NextEra to help our dealers close that gap. And whether they have the ability to hire someone specific to that role but need a higher level of expertise, or don't have the resources to hire that specific person but need a resource to go to for that information, Patty's going to be that person.
Well, that's fantastic. Patty Edwards, welcome to the team. I was part of that NextEra team for about 10 months. It's a great organization. They got tons of data helping dealers out every day. But hey, I have to ask you a question. Wes, close your ears. But Patty, why this industry? You got a resume that a human resource person would kill for. I mean, you worked with Kellogg Corporation, Eaton Corporation. I mean, you're a player in that space. Why would you come into an industry that's obviously in decline and in transition? I mean, what sparked it? What was it about NextEra?
So I think that's a great question, Ray, and thanks for asking it. I think a lot of people would look at this industry and realize that it's declining in a lot of respects, but the opportunity and the ability to go into the next level of what these organizations can do it's right. It's right at that level. I think that the companies that are going to be successful are going to take the leap and jump into big data and understanding how performance management directly impacts their bottom line. And the companies that don't are going to be left in the dust. Unfortunately, with COVID-19, it just accelerated that inevitable end, which I think was coming for this industry for several years now. But, Ray, the reason why is that I've looked in this industry, I've talked to Wes and a lot of his partners, and it's incredible to me how many people have been in this industry for 15, 20, 30 years. It's something that you don't see in a lot of other industries where they're declining. It's manufacturing, things get outsourced. This industry has been wonderful. It's provided amazing opportunities for the people that are in it. And I think they're just ready for what's next. And I do believe that human capital piece and human resources is going to take these organizations in understanding that when it comes to morale and productivity and their bottom line, there's no difference in those. And if they have the data to support that, there's no question that that's the direction that this industry is going in. So that's when I met Wes, and I saw his software and his Acuity tool, and as he calls it, I lit up like a Christmas tree because I said, wow, this is such an incredible opportunity, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
Well, I know when I saw that date, I thought it was a Christmas tree too. Well, I got to tell you, on behalf of an old guy in the industry for 30 years, welcome to the industry. Thanks for coming, because the industry is in great transition, and it really does take that special human capital to help the industry transition. I talk about this a lot. You know, we have to look in new places. We have to explore different ideas. And, you know, when you bring somebody in from different industries, that really helps us grow as an industry. You know, Wes, is there anything about Patty that just jumped off the page and said, man, I have to have her?
Well, you know, when we sat down and had our first conversation and I started showing her data, what really got me excited about is that she got it. She saw the information, she saw the tools, and without having any exposure to the industry prior to this, she got it. She saw it and said, that's exactly right. And one, it's encouraging, but two, it's challenging, because anytime someone comes into the company from outside, they're viewing what you do with fresh eyes. And what excited me is that she saw things and opportunities and ways to make our product better that we would have never considered otherwise.
Well, that's
simply
fantastic.
Because she's looking at it fresh. And so, you know, I've always believed that as owners, we need to be challenged all of the time outside the status quo. Because sometimes we get in the weeds and we can't get out of the weeds, because the weeds is what we've been in for 25 years. And we need that fresh perspective and get somebody that's never been in the weeds to go, why are you there?
No, you're right.
And why don't you get out? You know, so it's been, that's what's excited me the most. And so the challenge is very, very exciting.
Well, I think it's going to be a great fit for the team. And Patty, you know, you're going to be exposed to some great people. I think you've already talked to some of Wes's partners, and, you know, there's obviously a lot of opportunities. You probably got a little bit frustrated with some of that data, like, why aren't they paying attention to this? So hopefully, you know, hopefully we can help the industry really pay attention to the data, because without data, we're blind. And I think your business acumen and your degrees and all your experience is a huge asset to this industry. And I really welcome you. And, you know, Wes, I know we just wanted to introduce Patty today, and we're going to have another episode coming up talking a little bit about the data. But can you share with us a little bit of a catch up? So we were doing about 50,000 calls a month. Where are we at now on that?
We're back up to about 450,000. So it's been a slow slog back from April, where it hit the lowest point at about 269,000 calls. So it's come back up to 450. We're still well off that 750 to 780,000 calls a month that was going on inside our customer base before. Page volume is starting to come back somewhat. We at a peak of about 12 billion pages a month. We're at about almost 7 billion now. Okay. So it's slowly starting to come back. It kind of bottomed out, obviously, like everyone expected to be in that April, May timeframe. So it's getting better. And obviously the more the states open up, the more that activity will increase.
Well, you know, I think Bud Carrickey had an article in ENX magazine. I was reading that. And we're still like $60 million worth of inventories that haven't been used in like 3 months. So that was part of the COVID issue, I'm sure. But we still have some issues to go with that. But Patty, is there anything you've learned since you've been there in this last couple of weeks that you want to share with the audience?
You know, I've learned about the efficiencies that are possible. I'm such a data person, just like Wes. I love to see the data and what it can save people in inefficiency. I think that's what, as a nation, that we're driving towards. How many things we've been doing inefficiently that COVID has kind of woken us up to? And, you know, Wes has had that for so long, but now folks are really saying, this is the time. This is the time where if we've been profitable up to this point, great, but look how much more we can be doing. Look how much we can reduce our inventory. Look how the tens of thousands, even in some cases 100,000, that we can save per month if we just look at the data, look at our overstock, look at, you know, our performance levels of our employees. It's just so exciting that there's still so much this industry has to give, and I'm so excited for it, Ray. I love your energy, and you know, I'm so glad that you're putting this message out there, because it's absolutely true.
Well, I appreciate you, Patty, and I can't wait to see you in person. I'm sure we'll all get to go to some convention sooner or later, because I'm getting damn tired of my den. So.
That would be great.
Well, Patty, I'm going to end this the way I always do. Wes, you know what I'm going to say, but status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo. We'll see y'all tomorrow.